Okay, microeconomics, price elasticity of demand. That is chapter number 5. And in the previous class, we have discussed the, measurement of price elasticity of demand through percentage method. And now the next method that is in hand is total expenditure method. So we have just finished discussing how price elasticity of demand is, measured through percentage method, and we have done some numerical problems. So moving on ahead, we have to discuss the total expenditure method. How total expenditure method is used to measure the price elasticity of demand. So this total expenditure method is also known as, total outlay method. So as it is given here, the price elasticity of demand for a good and the total expenditure, both these are, related to each other. So the price elasticity of demand and the total expenditure that is made on the good are, they are related to each other. Why? Because from the changes in the total expenditure made on the good, because of the change in its price, we can find out the price elasticity of demand for a good. So when the price changes, your total expenditure on that good changes. And because of that, we can find out, or we can know the price elasticity of demand. So they are, closely related to each other. Price elasticity of demand for a good and then the total expenditure made on the good. They are both greatly related. But we should remember that, in total expenditure method or total outlay method, we can only know whether elasticity is, equal to 1, greater than 1, or less than 1. So we are not able to give the degree of responsiveness in this total expenditure method, but we are able to know whether it is a, unit elasticity greater than 1 or elasticity less than 1. So we are able to know only these 3 conditions by using this total expenditure. So let us see the 3 conditions that we are able to find out with the help of this total expenditure method. So the first one that we have is unit elasticity or unitary elasticity of demand. That is EP equals to 1. Price elasticity equals to 1. So in this case, what do we have? Because of the change in price, quantity demanded increases so much so that the total expenditure made on the commodity remains the same. So how this is possible? Let us see. This is because the total expenditure, made on good can remain the same when the percentage change in quantity demanded is equal to the, percentage change in price. So the quantity demanded because of the fall in price is same with the percentage change in the price. So when they are equal, we call it the unit elasticity, and EP equals to 1. So that is the case of unit elasticity. Second we have is elasticity which is greater than 1. So EP greater than 1. So because of the fall in price, the quantity demanded increases so much so that total expenditure made on it increases. So here in this case, it is possible because, because of the fall in price, the quantity demanded is higher, or the percentage increase in the quantity demanded is higher than the percentage increase in the prices. So that case is elasticity greater than 1. So that is the second condition that is found out because of the total expenditure method. And the last method that we have is when elasticity is less than 1 and EP is less than 1. So again, because of the fall in prices of good, the total expenditure decreases. And opposite to that, with the rise in price, the total expenditure made on good also increases. When price increases, total expenditure also increases, And when price falls, then total expenditure also decreases. So that is the case of elasticity less than 1. So in this case, it is possible because, the fall in the prices, is leading to a decrease in the expenditure on that good. And the rise in the price will lead to a, increase in the total expenditure made on a good. So that is the case of elasticity less than 1 and EP is greater than 1. So these are the three conditions which we can find out by using the total expenditure method. So let us explain this further in the, through the illustration of the table and then the diagrammatical representation. So this is the illustration of expenditure method. Table 1 representing the price elasticity of demand and total expenditure. So consider table 1, which gives quantity demanded of pens at various prices. So quantity demanded of pen at various prices. So it will be seen from this table that quantity demanded increased from 30 pence to 87 pence when price falls from 5 rupees to 3.25 rupees. So we have calculated the total expenditure by multiplying the price of pen and the quantity demanded, and we got the total expenditure. So it is observed in this table that when price of the pen falls from rupees 5 to rupees 4.75, it has fallen from rupees 5 to 4.75 to rupees 4.50, 4.25, rupees 4, till this rupees 4. What do we see? The quantity demanded increases, the quantity demanded increase from 30, 40, 50, 60, 75, 80, it increases so much that, the total expenditure on pen increases, indicating, the elasticity of demand is greater than 1 or the EP is greater than 1 at these prices. So fall in the price and then quantity demanded increases, which means that elasticity is greater than 1 or the total expenditure on pen increases, indicating that the elasticity of the demand is greater than 1 at these prices. So again, when price falls from rupees 4 to 3.75, what do we see there? The quantity demanded increases from 75 pence to 80 pence. It further increases when there is a fall from 4 to 3.75 rupees. So that the total expenditure made on it remains the same. But what do we see here? After rupees 4, the price has fallen from 3.75. Quantity demanded has increased and then total expenditure also increases. But after rupees 4, that is after 300, when there is a fall in price, the quantity demanded increases, but the total expenditure remains the same. So this is the case of, unitary elasticity, where price elasticity of demand is equals to 1. So after this 300, the further fall in the price is leading to a, same total expenditure. It does not increase anymore after price has fallen from 4 to 3.75 rupees. And again, when price further fall to 3.50 from 3.75, quantity demanded increases but the total expenditure decreases. Price has fallen, quantity demanded increase so much so that the total expenditure decreases. So which means that price elasticity is less than 1. So we see the three conditions, that is price elasticity greater than 1, price elasticity equals to 1, and then price elasticity less than 1 in the total expenditure method, and which is explained in this diagrammatical or tabular form. So let me just repeat again. Till rupees 4, the quantity demanded increased so much so that the total expenditure also increases. So till 300 it has increased, and this is the condition where elasticity is greater than 1. So after rupees 4, price has fallen to rupees 3.75, which leads to increase in quantity demanded from 75 to 80, but the total expenditure remains the same. So 300, it's the same, and price elasticity at this condition is equals to 1. Unit elasticity. Further, price has fallen from 3.50 to 3.25, and then we see that, or 3.75 to 3.50, the price has again fallen, and which leads to quantity increase in quantity demanded so much so that there is a decrease in the total expenditure from 300 rupees to 294 rupees, and in this condition we call it the price elasticity less than 1. So even further fall in the price leads to increase in quantity demanded and decrease in the total expenditure. These are the three conditions of price elasticity of demand that we see in the total expenditure method. Let us explain this in a diagrammatical form. So this is the graphical illustration of expenditure method in considering all the three conditions. So the relationship that is happening between price elasticity of demand and then the total outlay can be graphically represented as follows. So let us look at the figure number 5, which is a graphical illustration of unit elasticity where price elasticity equals 1. So here we are taking that with the help of the demand curve, we are going to explain the relationship between price elasticity of demand and the total expenditure. So dd is the demand curve. So on the x-axis we are measuring quantity, and on the y-axis we are measuring price, and O is the origin. So price is first given at OP and quantity demanded is OQ. So the total expenditure is OP into OQ, that is OPRQ. So the area equal to OPRQ is the total expenditure at OP prices. So now price has fallen from OP to OP dash and quantity demanded is OQ dash. So the total expenditure will be OP dash into OQ dash. So the total expenditure is equal to the portion given by OP dash R dash Q dash. So that is the total expenditure at OP dash price. So let us compare the remaining shaded part of both the total expenditure. So at OP price, P dash P R H is the remaining part, and then for OP dash price, the remaining part is Q H R dash Q dash. So when comparing these two remaining parts, both are the same. They are equal to each other. So therefore, the total outlay, that is OP dash R dash Q dash, is equal to the original outlay, that is OPRQ. So because these shaded part are equal, the remaining part comparing with the total expenditure in both the prices, that is OP and OP dash, they are the same, this shaded part. So in other words, we can say that OP dash R dash Q dash, that is this box is equal to OPRQ. So this box is equal to this box. So this is a case of unit elasticity where price elasticity equals to 1. So again, let us consider figure 6, which is a case of, price elasticity is greater than 1. So again, this is the demand curve. X-axis we are measuring quantity, Y-axis price, and O is the origin. So the given price, the first given price is OP, and quantity demanded is OQ. So total expenditure is OPRQ. The next thing is price has fallen to OP dash from OP. So quantity demanded is OQ dash, and total expenditure is equal to the box given by OP dash R dash Q dash. So this is the total expenditure when price has fallen. And before price has fallen, the total expenditure is OPRQ. So let us again compare the remaining part of both the total expenditure. So let us compare this P dash PRH, which is the remaining part for OP price, and for OP dash price, the remaining part is QHR dash Q dash. So we can see clearly that, this QHR dash Q dash is bigger or larger than P dash PRH. So the quantity demanded when price fall is greater than the quantity demanded before the fall in price, which means that, this total expenditure OP dash R dash Q dash is bigger than, OPRQ. So this total box is bigger than this box. So the quantity demanded when price fall is greater than the quantity demanded before the fall of price. So that is the case of price elasticity is greater than 1. And the last diagram that we have is less than unit elasticity. So again, we are measuring the demand curve DD, x-axis quantity demanded, price at y-axis, and O is the origin. Again, at OP price, the quantity demanded, is OQ. So total expenditure is again OPRQ. At price OP dash, price has fallen, the quantity demanded is OQ dash, and the total expenditure is OP dash R dash Q dash. So let us again compare the remaining part. So for OP price, before the fall of price, P dash PRH is this much. And when price has fallen, or at OP dash price, the remaining part is QHR dash Q dash. So we can see clearly that this P dash PRQ box, which is the remaining part at OP price, is bigger than this QHR dash Q dash. So in other words, we can say that total expenditure of OPRQ, this box, is greater than OP dash, R dash Q dash. So because of the fall in prices, quantity demanded has reduced. Before the fall in price, quantity demanded is bigger than the after falling of the price. So this is the case of less than unit elasticity, where price elasticity is less than 1, because quantity demanded before the fall of price is greater than the quantity demanded after the fall of price. So that is the graphical representation or illustration of expenditure method.